This is Fearless Beauties, a podcast dedicated to developing voices of color in the beauty industry. We are talking to estheticians, skin specialists, and business owners to uncover best skin practices, tactical career tips, and ultimately, how we can create a better beauty industry together. I'm your host, Taylor Phillip.
And I'm your other co-host, Alina Velez. Welcome to the latest episode of the Fearless Beauties podcast.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 4 of the Fearless Beauties podcast. I am your host, Taylor, also known as Taylor Budgets.
And I'm your co-host, Alina Velez, your certified advanced esthetician. And we're talking about being your own sense of validation today.
Yes, we're so excited. So this episode, we're going to discuss the concept of beauty autonomy and how we can stop searching for validation outside of ourselves and instead become our own best sources of validation. So we will discuss what it means to be quote unquote hot today and how various TikTok trends like the hot girl walk are redefining the meaning of hotness and empowering us to take back the narrative surrounding what it means to be hot despite rigid societal beauty standards.
Yeah, so what really is self-validation, right? Like what does that look like? It's a skill. It's a skill that can be developed. But, when we're children, we acquire many traits and habits from our primary attachment, whoever raised us, right? Our mom, our dad, grandma, grandpa, sister, whoever it is, right? So we see what they do, we see their actions, their behaviors, and we kind of model that as kids, right? So research shows that emotional and behavioral self-validation and self-regulation are skills that are transferred from a parent to a child. If you grew up with a parent that, is always putting themselves down or like, oh, I'll never get that job, or, you hear those things as a kid and it does carry over to you, but you can break that cycle. For me, that's something that really transformed my life, honestly, was two things actually that I just want to share really quick. A few of my favorite ways to strengthen my own sense of validation. Number one being affirmations. These can be whatever you want to make them. Mine change all the time, but this is consistently retraining our brain to speak more kind and think more positively about ourselves and about others. Second thing is practicing mindfulness. So for me, this looks like reflecting on my day, my words, my actions, how it made me feel, how it might have made others feel. I think that just knowing like what your own sense of validation really means, like what does that really mean? It can mean something different for everybody.
Yes, definitely. So I like how you said it can mean something different for everyone, because that's what I was going to say, just to piggyback off of you, because you were talking about that parental attachment and how it creates your own sense of validation as you go from child, adolescent to adulthood. But I also think about like when I was doing my counseling internship last year, I had a lot of clients who didn't grow up with parents, or even not even parents, but like guardians who were active in their life. And they had to find their sense of validation from their environment.
And that can be hard, right? If you're in an unhealthy environment that you can't control, where does your self-worth and morality come from?
So yeah, if you're not getting that love and attention at home, you go looking for it in other places. School. If you're walking to school and you see a situation out in the street and you're like, dang. As children, even as adolescents, we're sponges. So we take it all in. And I think it's up to us to kind of decipher what is healthy and what is right and what's not. So there are some people who may have seen abusive relationships all their lives and see that as quote unquote like healthy, I guess, kind of in a weird
Or
way.
normal.
Normal,
Yeah.
that's the better word. Like that's all they know because that's all they have seen.
Right.
So like their validation is if someone beats up on me, they may say they love me, but if they beat up on me, I guess, I'll stay because I've
Because they love
seen
me.
right.
Yeah.
And I've seen that and that's normal to me. So I think it's also just kind of about putting yourselves in environments that are healthy, joining online communities that focus on mindfulness, self-confidence, self-empowerment, things like that. Those are environments you can force yourself to be a part of so that you can create a healthy narrative for yourself.
A lot of this new generation is, social medias. And so I've said this before on another podcast, but following people that make you feel good when you look at your timeline.
I have something to say about that because I have learned the power of mute on social media. How you can mute people that you follow, that you respect, that you like, that you're proud of and happy for, but they dim your light in self-confidence type of way. So because insecurities exist, even if we think we're the most secure person in the world, we've all got them. So I've learned the power of the mute button.
But I also love that you are willing to be like transparent and share your struggles and be real with your followers, because if you're not following Taylor already, follow her.
Thank you.
Yeah, just really practicing mindfulness with who you're following on social medias and how it makes you feel, right? So let's talk about Meg Thee Stallion and how she brought us the viral mantra, Hot Girl Summer, right?
Hot Girl Summer. I love that.
So Hot Girl Summer is a mood, it's a lifestyle, it's a vibe. It's about the way you act and feel and take up space in the world.
I love that.
I love that.
I know.
Right?
So here's the thing. I don't listen to Meg Thee Stallion, and honestly, I didn't even know the whole Hot Girl Summer thing was from her.
Girl, me either.
Okay, let's just say it. Like, I'm like, what? All I know is that Body Yaddy 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 song, right?
Yep,
But I had no idea about Hot Girl Summer. But I had to scroll through TikTok and catch up with the girlies. But I honestly think the message behind Hot Girl Summer is a beautiful thing. And I think she's definitely changing the narrative of social media, period.
I agree.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
No, because her thing is like, it's not really what you look like, it's how hot you feel. And I think that that's so important because everybody is so unique, and just to imagine everybody like conforming and looking the same and acting the same is just like so boring to me. And so I just love the celebration of like all shapes and sizes, all colors, all genders, all ethnicities. Like, I love that we're able to celebrate that kind of in a playful way.
Yes. And I think we talked a lot about the rigid beauty standards on our podcast, so I don't want to get too much into it because I swear we have like 4 or 5 episodes on that. But society definitely has their own definition of hot. They have, the standard.
The big lips, the small waist, the big booty.
Yeah. And it's like, and if we can really get into it, let's really get into it. Based off your ethnicity, the definition of hot is different. If you are a Caucasian woman, it's hot when you have that small waist, Coca-Cola shaped, thing, but then you have like that flat booty. Can we talk about it with the long flowy hair? And
it's a look.
And
it's
the
a
big
look.
eyes and the plumpy lips. Okay? When they wear their high-waisted shorts and the camel toes. Okay? I see it all the time. That's the definition of hot, because I truly, even when I was researching for this episode on TikTok, you see all of the girls look the same.
Where do those standards come from? It comes from socials, from, I think, models and magazines. What what is portrayed to us and told is beautiful.
Even like back in the 90s, before I was even born, I guess, just like, probably the fashion magazines, like you mentioned, Marilyn Monroe. But that's the standard. But I just want to get more into African American women. You see the standard of hot. And what is that? You got the small waist with the big booty.
Which we love a big booty, right?
We love a big booty. We love a flat booty.
We love a big booty. Exactly. Little booties matter too.
Right. So I think that even down to race and ethnicity, there's different standards of hot. And we put ourselves in that because that's the standard. And because that standard is so sexualized and honored, we're like, shoot, if we don't look like that, we need to get to it. So
it's great how you highlighted different ethnicities do have different ideas of beauty. We had that episode on season 2 where we talked about Korean beauty and how they will just completely change their face.
Pale skin.
Pale skin. I mean, it's completely different than Americanized beauty. That actually kind of brings me to the next fierce woman I want to talk about, Miss England, Melissa Raouf. I think I'm saying it right. A beautiful model, the first contestant ever to compete barefaced in a pageant. Like crazy, but she is just so beautiful from the inside out. I was watching some YouTube videos of her talking, and I mean, she's 20 years old, so she's pretty young to be out here, right? Out here really, really making a name for herself. But she said that it was a challenge herself, that after years of being shy and insecure and discouraged by social media and, all the filtered pictures and stuff, that she was just like, to heck with it. I'm competing barefaced and I'm winning this thing. And I want everybody else to feel confident barefaced also. So I'm here for that.
No, I am as well. And there was a quote in the article, and she said that women are pressured to look a certain way because of society's narrow perception of beauty and perfection. That's the big word, perfection. And they're often scrutinized for not conforming to them, which is, it's sad, because I think, especially in beauty pageants, we have a whole episode about that as well, that there's just one way you can look at those pageants, unfortunately.
Yeah. This is kind of a little bit random. Miss Argentina and Miss Puerto Rico revealed that they got married in secret. I don't know if you saw that, Taylor.
No.
But that's a whole nother thing that I bet they just were in hiding because they didn't want to jeopardize whatever they had on the line. Anyways, I just think it's a beautiful thing that that they are married and happy and so stinking beautiful. But who knows what the rules and regulations are in pageants. And
we know that it can get pretty ridiculous. Remember, you can't be married.
Oh yeah, like have kids, I think.
Yeah, like it's serious.
Yeah.
It's freaking serious. If we go back to the hot girl summer wave, I think that it's more about doing the internal work to validate ourselves based on our own standards and not the standards of others. So I did read an article. It was by Danya Isawi. I really hope I'm pronouncing her name right. But she said that these days being hot being hot no longer pertains only to your physical appearance, but it includes how you move through the world and how you see yourself. Hotness is no longer just in the eye of the beholder. It's a mood. It's a vibe. Period.
I know that's right.
Yes. So we no longer need to wait for confirmation or the opinions of others. I think that if you feel hot, it's all that matters. If it makes people uncomfortable or insecure, they automatically declare it as cold instead of hot. I put that in my notes. I thought it was funny, but anyway. But truly, but if we think about it, what authority do these people's opinions have over us? None.
Right.
So,
well, they can, if you allow it to. It can take over your life. It absolutely can. I follow this motivational speaker named Lisa Nichols. She's got this quote And she says, I woke up this morning and I like myself. So your like is extra.
Oh yes,
Right?
I've heard that, but I didn't know it was
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. And I just think it's so simple, but it's like for real. Like I woke up this morning and I like myself. I love myself. And, if you want to like my picture, my selfie, like that like is extra because I like this picture. You know what I mean?
What? That's her?
That's her. Yeah. But go give her a follow. She's
Yeah, I'm about to follow her
always
right now.
posting really. Her posts always fill my cup and bring light to my life. So
Yeah,
I want to share that with others.
saying, that's transformational. Like
Right.
I remember listening to it for the first time, and I was like speechless. I was like, my mind was blown because if that ain't the truth, I don't know what is. It was.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you
Yeah.
mentioned that. I had no idea it was Lisa Nichols. So let's get into how Meg Thee Stallion's Hot Girl Summer motivated this new thing. Well, it's new to me, but this trend on TikTok called Hot Girl Walks. Okay.
Tell us.
Yeah, I did a whole deep dive because your girl loves TikTok, but my TikTok algorithm was not placing me in the hot girl walk thing at the time. But it was created by a TikToker. Her name is Mia Lind, and her TikTok name is exactly like the other girls. I was stalking her. She hasn't posted in like a few months, but she created this trend called the hot girl walk, and she said that it is a mindset. She said one of the main pillars of the hot girl walk is trying to build confidence. It's an exercise in confronting that negative self-talk and feeling a self of hotness. So basically, there are 3 things you have to do while on this walk. A lot of people are saying that it's supposed to be a 4-mile walk, but I don't think she said anything about 4 miles. I think she just tells you to walk. But basically, the 3 things you need to do while on this walk is focus on your goals, your dreams, and aspirations. That's 1. 2, think about what you're grateful for, or you can even say it out loud while you're walking. And the third one is think about how hot you are. And I love that one. I think that one's my favorite because it's so simple, but it's something that I don't think we do enough.
Because your mind believes what you tell it. And I know that sounds kind of, your mind believes what you tell it. And it's a scientific fact. Our brains actually have this thing called neuroplasticity. It's basically this neural network that it can change through growth and reorganization. And pretty much our brain can rewire itself to function more positively. I take affirmations very seriously.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Sorry, side note.
No, it's also
continue with the hot girl walk.
It's fine because I have a side note for your side note. It's biblical, it's spiritual, but it says in the Bible that life and death is in the power of your tongue, or in the power of the tongue. So basically, what comes out of your mouth is what's going to happen. If you express negativity and say, for example, today's going to be the worst day ever, that is exactly what's going to happen. Because like you said, your mind believes what you tell it, right? That's what you said?
Yep.
So let's focus on, even if we feel like it's not going to be a great day, let's just say it. Let's fool ourselves, right? Like in my mind, it's like just being human and being transparent with you all. There's days, honestly, for the past 3 or 4 months where every day I wake up and I'm like, I think to myself, oh, it's just today. I know I'm not going to get what I need to get done. And it's whatever. I'm just going to wake up and just like do what I need to do. That's what I think. But to be quite literal, I always say the opposite. Today's going to be a great day. I'm going to get so much done. Lauren and I are going to have a great day. Lauren's my daughter, for those who don't know. And it's just like, even if the day doesn't turn out to be what I wanted, I'm going into it with positivity.
Right. There's still so much good that you can choose to see in the day, even if overall the day isn't going the way you imagined. I can think of a couple of times where I'm just grouchy and I think to myself like, oh, I need to go into the store. I just wish I was invisible. And then I have to stop and think like, that's so selfish. Like, so then when I start to notice myself in that mindset, I will just kind of like go out of my way to do nice things, simple things like opening the door for somebody, and then they kind of look at you surprised, like, thanks. And then it's like, oh, that makes me feel good. Like they were surprised I did something nice for them today. Like, so I think when you're feeling some type of way, go the extra mile to kind of counteract that. Or, like, I don't know, if it's in your budget, maybe you're getting your Starbucks coffee, pay for the person behind you. Or, like I said, simple things, opening the door or doing something kind for your coworker, or, just little things.
Because not only does that help them and hopefully help motivate them to pass on the
Yeah,
kindness.
pay it forward.
Yeah, pay it forward, right? That's what I was trying to say. But also it makes you feel good about yourself. And I'm not saying to give or do something nice so that you feel good, because it's meant, for the other person to feel good. But it does make you feel good. And it makes you feel like, I can't give myself any type of positivity today. Like, my self-talk is horrible, but at least I can give it to someone else. And maybe by doing that, it will help me.
Yeah, almost often than not, it will help you. It will help you.
You have to play tricks
I love that.
with yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do it all the time. Like, I am naturally introverted and guarded, and I keep to myself. And my mom says that I'm very mean, but I think that I just kind of have like that natural, or the resting bitch face. And like, and I just like, I like to keep to myself. I'm not really a person that wants to be bothered. If I'm being honest. So sometimes I force myself, and honestly, my daughter forces me to just talk to people. Just like my mom says, I have two personalities. Like, I'm Taylor and then I'm Lindsay. So Lindsay is the happy, bubbly person, and Taylor is the bitch. So sometimes she's like, babe, I need you to be Lindsay today, okay? Like, force yourself to be Lindsay and get out of your head and not be Taylor today. Taylor can stay at home. And I'm like, really? She's like, yes, sometimes you have to force yourself to be what you want to feel, So hopefully that wasn't down a rabbit hole. Hopefully that intertwines with validation. But
100%. 100%.
Okay. So where was I? Okay. So the hot girl walk. So yeah, I talked about the 3 things you need to do. Not only does it help with, losing weight or just feeling better with your body, it is meant to improve your mental health. So I was going down the rabbit hole of TikTok, and I found this nutritionist, and her TikTok is happystronghealthy.rd. And she said that the hot girl walk is a part of a low intense, steady state cardio. So you're not like fast paced walking. You're not doing the power walk. It's a stroll, y'all. It's literally a stroll.
I could do that.
Right. I could do that all day. For those with cardiovascular complications, this is a great exercise for you. It's easy on your joints, which makes recovery easier. It's easy to commit to, which we both said just now. It's good for your mental health, and it's suitable for all levels of training. So not only is it good for your mental health, but it's good for your physical health. And it's something that you honestly can stick to. I guess what the hot girl walk has done for self-validation is kind of force yourself to do the mental work. That's like the easiest I can say. But also you can, I've seen a lot of TikTokers, they're sharing it on their social medias, encouraging others to do it for themselves. So I think there's like a community of hot girl walkers. There was one video I saw that a group of 100 girls decided to get together in Dallas and do a hot girl walk around a park. And then they just kind of, talked to strangers, got to know each other, and like talked about, their dreams, goals with each other, and walked. So I like that. I really, really do. So, Alina, what do you think, if you have anything to say about it, but honestly, what do you think the hot girl walk kind of does for self-validation?
Well, it was foreign to me. Like that was all new to me. So that's super, super cool. I think that it's dope that it's exercise, it's affirmations, it's really practicing mindfulness, all the things that I've been doing combined in just a simple walk. But I will tell you that strengthening my own sense of validation has helped me manifest the life that I always imagined for myself, honestly. And so I want that for everybody. It's not even about physical things. It's just how I feel about myself, because I used to have really destructive thoughts about myself, and I still do from time to time. That's natural. And so really just building this stamina of self-validation so that when a bad day hits, I've got some built up in my bank.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You got affirmations lined up.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
I would say that affirmations, sometimes you're not going to believe them, y'all. Like, but you just keep saying them, and soon you will believe them. It's like that person who continues to tell you a lie and then you start to believe it. I honestly feel like it's subconsciously how you feel about yourself, but you're just too broken or damaged or
never were given these tools. A lot of this people have never even heard about before.
Very much so. Yeah, I agree.
It's a very strong tool. And yes. I'm here for the hot girl walk. Like,
I know. I think I'm
going to the gym tonight.
Right.
It's not going to be an outside workout because it's raining in Oregon, but I will be putting my priorities in order and doing my affirmations while I walk tonight. So yes. Thank you for sharing.
Yes. So I think that we pretty much covered the topics, like redefining hot, what it is. And I just want to say that we did talk about the hot girl walk, making a stallion. We talked about self-validation or your sense of validation. But honestly, there's not one thing that defines what hot is. I was reading the same article. It was by Dania Isawi, and she said that hot is confidence. It's the way you dress. It's the way you present yourself to other people. That doesn't mean you have to be the most symmetrically, physically perfect human being. Honestly, that's not even, I think that we're getting further away from that standard of beauty of quote unquote perfection. I think that I see it on TikTok too. Like, we have plus size women and they fine because of their confidence. And of course, they're beautiful physically, but I don't think that that's the message they're trying to get across. I think that I feel good. Even if the world says I'm big, I feel real good, And I think that's what hot is. It's being confident, it's self-empowering, and it's expanding the definition of attraction.
I also think it's again being grateful for all the little things. So even though I talked about affirmations, sometimes my affirmations just look like counting all my blessings, even if it's just that I have 10 toes and 10 fingers. You know what I mean?
Okay, like, sometimes we got to get real simple.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm serious. Yeah. So, yeah, self-validation.
And you know
Love
what?
It.
I'm going to be honest once again and say, before this podcast, your girl was not feeling good. Okay. I was feeling just not confident in accomplishing anything today. But I think that this really helps. And I hope it helps tons of other people. And, just talking about it, doing my research changed my mindset for the day. So yeah, we all hope that you enjoyed the episode today. Be your own kind of hot. I like that. Be your own kind of hot. Maybe that should be the title. I don't know. But be your own kind of hot. So as always, we end the podcast with our socials. You can find us on Instagram at Fearless Beauties, fearlessbeauties.org. You can find me at Taylor Budgets.
And you can find me at True Skin Lab on Instagram. And then our YouTube, we always forget about because it's brand spanking new. We've got a YouTube channel up. I believe it's just Fearless Beauties on YouTube. So thanks for listening, guys. I hope you go out into the world and present your best selves, practice affirmations, and have a great day.
Yes. See you next time. Bye.